I don't have to worry about life hacks because I don't have a life. I'm a bar of soap. Subscribe and leave a comment to see your face in the next video. What could kill you in your daily life that people don't even understand it's that dangerous? Moving water. It doesn't take much flowing water to knock you off your feet or float a car. A park near where I live has huge signs that detail how many people drowned in the river that year. Apparently the river looks calm, but the undercurrent is very strong. People still drown despite the signs and the news articles about drownings. There was a story 2 years ago of a woman who was struck and killed by a beach umbrella that wasn't fastened down properly while vacationing in Virginia Beach. The wind picked the umbrella up and it landed on her chest as she walked by. Worst of all, this was on her birthday and marriage anniversary. Holy shit, I remember everybody freaking the fuck out about that. I was there visiting relatives and we started bringing coffee cans to fill with sand. The sun. Most common cause of heat stroke is not covering the back of your neck when out on a hot day. Things under tension. Garage door springs, piano strings, rope holding a tent down. When these things suddenly release their tension all at once, you don't want to be anywhere nearby. Yeah, I play the piano. I didn't choose the thug life. Hydraulics. If you work in industry, you're constantly around hydraulics containing hundreds of C of a heavy, non-compressible fluid that requires zero licensing or specific training to work on. Just as potentially dangerous as electricity without many understanding just how hazardous it can be. Not just the moving parts either. I've seen a couple guys put their hand in the wrong place and get a jet of high pressure hydraulic oil shot right into their skin. I remember reading a story where a guy was working on a system that had highly pressurized paint in it. It sprung a leak and the jet shot into his hand. They ended up having to scrub paint off the bones in his forearm in the hospital. Mixing alcohol with Tylenol. You might not see the effects for years, but it can cause crazy liver damage. Duck. All those folks trying to head off a hangover taking Tylenol before going to bed have no idea how awful it is for them. Driving. People forget how easily you can lose control and die. Yet almost daily I see people on the phone behind the wheel. Remember to check both ways, even if you have the green light. It's saved me a couple of times. Just to tack another point onto this, and something my dad would always tell me when I was learning how to drive. It doesn't really matter if you have the right of way or if a potential accident would be the other person's fault. You'd still have a wrecked car. Not getting enough sleep. Short term, just not being alert increases your risk for an accidental injury or worse, and longer term sleep deprivation issues could lead to illness or death. Falling. From any height including on level ground. You just have to hit your head in a particular way and that's it for you. One of my biggest fears is falling in the bathroom, hitting my head and dying. Then someone will have to retrieve my dead, naked and probably rotting body. So embarrassing. Embarrassing for them maybe. You dead. Honestly, even if I don't die naked, I'm still embarrassed in advance about a stranger seeing me naked during an autopsy. Apparently texting while driving isn't considered to be hazardous by 80% of people I see driving. Shit drives me insane. My ex used to do it with me in the car and then get mad at me when I told her to stop. But I'm really good at it. Cool. Tell that to the person you hit because you just had to respond to a text about some meaningless aspect of someone's life. Everyone who texts while driving thinks they are really good at it right up until they cause an accident. Don't hide in a clothes dryer when playing hide and seek. Some of those are airtight and you will suffocate to death. When my sister and I were children, we used to play hide and seek with our cousins. We could both fit in the dryer together. It's terrifying to think, if we weren't found fast enough, that there could have been 2 dead little girls in my aunt's dryer. This is why I can't have kids. The shit they're gonna come up with. Someone else in the vehicle not wearing their seatbelt. A 200-pound passenger not wearing their seatbelt turns into a 200-pound sack of meat and bones flying around the cabin during a collision. If they smack into you, then you're fucked. Even if you don't respect your own safety and well-being, respect the safety and well-being of the other people in the car. Wear your seatbelt. Wear your seatbelt. Wear your fucking seatbelt. In the military, we had to do rollover training for in case a vehicle was flipped by an IED or whatnot. One of the things you learn very quickly is to strap everything down because it all turns into projectiles when the vehicle flips. Even if it doesn't hit you, trying to move stuff out of your way while trying to drag yourself out of a flipped vehicle with bruises or broken bodies is going to be difficult. This isn't something in most people's daily life, but I'm a type 1 diabetic and I have an insulin pump. If someone pulls it out or breaks the cord the insulin goes through and I have no extra insulin in vials or something, then I'll die within a day or two. I once had a kid cut the cord of my insulin pump with scissors. I had to leave my school and go home to get a new one as quickly as possible. Cut your insulin tube with scissors? Fucking sadist. Glad you're okay. Diabetes. Had a friend die the year after high school from diabetes no one knew he had. Everyone said the only possibility was some sort of accident, as we'd all seen him only weeks prior, and he was healthy then, plus you couldn't not like the guy. No way anyone would ever kill him. Was shocked to say the least when I found out he died of diabetes. Sounds like a very painful way to go. I ended up in the hospital with DKA when I wasn't really sick until the week before. Only symptoms were drinking a gigantic amount of water. Pool drains. I have the worst fear of pool drains, especially the large square drains, because in 2000, I got stuck to a massive square drain the size of a door at the bottom of a community pool when it accidentally turned on. Luckily, the lifeguard immediately jumped into action and had the drain turned off. They had to cut out my hair, and I had the worst posh spice bob for the rest of 5th grade. In most recent years, due to several pool drain related deaths, I've read that pool drain covers have to be dome-like and there are 2 drain systems. So if someone gets stuck on one drain, the suction goes to the other drain. I have a slight obsession with looking up pool drain safety these days. Sitting down is the new smoking, quote a cardiologist colleague of mine. Ugh, I wish my boss realized this. At my work, if I'm not sitting at my desk there's a problem. I just got a doctor to write a note saying for health reasons I need to be able to get up and walk around a bit every hour. So, that's good. General anesthesia. My friend's mother went in for a routine surgery on something completely non-life threatening. She never woke up. As someone who got anesthesia alert, lots of operations, this scares the fuck out Tammy. How do I erase this from my mind? Think about it this way. If you wake up, no problem. If you don't wake up, not your problem. For me personally, my shoes have almost no traction on the bottom. Every wet surface is dangerous right now. Even the paint lines on the road are slick when wet. I could fall and smack my head, and that'd be all she wrote. Pretty much everything. You can trip walking down the sidewalk and hit your head just right. Boom, life-altering injury. You'll never be the same again. We are just bags of blood loosely held together by a skeleton and some muscles. That being said, I still take part in some activities that I know are very dangerous. Would rather burn out than fail away. Just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I saw a video a while back where a woman was just walking along and got smacked in the back of the head by a light pole that was knocked over by someone cutting down a tree or something like that. Obviously we all want it to be quick and painless, but it's crazy to think that she was probably thinking about dinner plans or the weekend or any number of things, and then bam, lights out. So I know this wouldn't apply to everyone's daily life, but my full-time job is at a zoo, and I work at our sea lion exhibit, where people can feed the animals from the top of a ledge. One of the safety rules we have is don't dangle your arms over the ledge, because it's teasing the animal and that's the signal to them that you have fish. So, if you keep your arms over long enough looking like you're holding a fish, it's possible that sea lion will jump to your hand and bite you. A lot of people disregard this rule because they want to get the animal's attention. What a lot of people don't realize is that 1. Sea lions have extremely sharp teeth and can and most likely will hurt you if they bite you. 2. Sea lion bites have an extremely high infection rates, and if you're bitten you will most likely contract an illness called seal finger. If not treated properly, seal finger can actually lead to the loss of hand function and fingers themselves. If not treated at all it may possibly lead to death, and not a lot of medical professionals are used to treating sea lion bites, so people used to do the same things with the otters at my old job. But they're so cute I can't help it. Alright lady, Harris the sea weasel. See what happens. Anything. You just have to be in the right place at the perfect time. Take the Humboldt bus crash. If either driver had arrived at that intersection 3 seconds before or after, nothing would have happened. It is the definition of a freak accident.